Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for a social study video, but an important one. Remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. This is going to be a long, rambly video. If you don't like these kind of videos, if you don't like the video game videos, just watch those. Social study video. I want to talk about main character energy, NPC energy, and I want to talk about parasocial behavior and how being parasocial um, can actually be very dangerous, right? I think there's probably, there's so much social, there's so much social media in everybody's faces all the time. I guess maybe it's almost impossible to not be a little bit parasocial, perhaps at sometimes, especially when even normal people can be streamers now and maybe have some sort of clout, whatever. But if you are focused on someone else's life, if you are not trying to be the main character of your story, right? I think that's a problem, right? You don't want to be the main character in somebody else's story. Okay. Okay. Can't speak English. I'm sorry. So I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell many stories. I'm going to tell a story that is maybe it's going to make me seem cool, but I want you to take it. I want you to see the bad in it because it's a bad story, right? And I've been thinking about this kind of stuff again because I've had a bad period of health again recently. Of course, that makes you start, thinking about life in general. Of course, start thinking about life, death, whatever, blah blah blah. And I have a friend who he's trying to become a streamer, and so I'm trying to have a little bit of an inkling of what the fuck is going on with him, just a little bit, and I see just how toxic all this stuff is. But anyway, talking about main character energy, NPC energy, I want to tell you a surreal story. Again, I don't consider myself cool. But I gotta say, today was a pretty surreal day, right? And I've showed videos before. I don't know what it is. I have a specific look that sometimes girls just go crazy over me, right? I've talked about, and I've even showed, stories of me going to other countries. Christ, I had the mom and the daughter both wanted me to bang them at the same time. Pretty weird, dude, right? Lots of weird girl stories, right? Again, this is maybe making me sound cool, but I want you to take the bad part about it that I'm gonna talk about. So today, God, dude, I don't know. I maybe had like 15 girls. It could have even been more. Spill their spaghetti. I don't know what was going on today. I also had some guys too. I don't know. I had maybe one button. Maybe I should have buttoned up one more button. I don't know. Girls were spilling their spaghetti the entire day. But, you know, the last girls that spilled their spaghetti, I had a few girls that called me over. I started talking to them, and you know, generally once people talk to me, and I tell them, don't worry, I'm not that cool. I appreciate your compliment, whatever. I don't even think I'm cool. I still look at myself in the mirror, or even on this camera a lot of times, and I feel like I look ugly. I don't look like how I look, right? But anyway, the girls, were just talking. They're like, oh my God. They're like, no, you're not ugly. No, well, you're definitely not ugly. If you ever thought you were ugly, you're definitely not ugly now. Right? They're like, don't worry about it. Like, you know, you look amazing kind of thing. Right? But do you know, right? Even though, God, it honestly could have been more than 15 girls today. I don't know what the fuck it was. Maybe it was just that time of the month for all these girls. Like I said, there was actually a few guys too. But do you know that even though there was all these groups of girls that were like going crazy today, I still was insecure, right? And I still was insecure to make a move. As a matter of fact, I saw two girls that I actually found attractive who I was afraid to then approach. Okay? Which is actually it's pathetic, right? Can you imagine how many people, and this is why, I've made that video before talking about it was so many years ago. There was a video something like what is the burden of being attractive? And I did a response video. And I was like, oh my God, dude, like you have no idea. Did you grow up? Like, again, I grew up very unpopular. Girls always tell me how ugly I was, had rocks thrown at my face, all that kind of stuff, right? And I think that's probably why I'm poisoned, and I see the pettiness of people too, in my life that, oh, Clayton is sick, I don't care about him now, or oh, Clayton is cool 1 minute. Oh, I don't. Is he really that cool? Because I have this sort of disingenuous social proof that I've talked about in videos before, and you can see how quick a girl can flip her feelings towards you. I hate you 1 minute, the next minute I want to have sex with you, and it makes everything feel very fake, right? Which also is you know, almost like a black pill, like nothing matters, like ugh, nothing matters. And then of course, being in the hospital all the time, it really your sex drive, it basically as a man, it gives you the sex drive of a woman, basically, right? Like I got to be really turned on, I got to be in the mood, something like that. So it makes it hard to I just like appreciate the fact that how many people. Yeah, I'm all over the place, right? I swear it's gonna make sense once I get to it, right? I made that follow up to the person talking about, oh, it's so terrible to be a woman and be complimented all the time. And it's like, God, man, you need to feel appreciative. I remember growing up and I'm like, I wish somebody would compliment me. I don't like being called ugly. I don't like getting beat up every day, right? So I think that too makes it so like when these things happen, they feel surreal to me. And can you imagine like how many people would be like, oh my God, I could not believe that, it's only out for a few hours or something like that. Like, can you imagine just as a man? And I've showed the videos like the things that girls do to me. Last weekend, car pulled over next to me, two girls. I mean, I could show you the Snapchat messages. They are very horny. Let's just say that. Not normal stuff to happen to a guy. But even though that happens, I still feel very insecure, right? And it's hard for me to do stuff, right? And maybe that's why I'm so sort of nonchalant about when people compliment me like that, because it still doesn't feel real to me. And I also know that it's kind of fake, right? Like it doesn't matter. But appreciate what I just said there when we're talking about, you know, main character energy, non playable character energy, and parasocial energy, right? I grew up so unpopular, wishing that I was cool, all this kind of stuff. And now, I've dealt with all these life or death situations, health is still bad, right? You but if I only had parasocial energy, if I only had that parasocial energy where I just watch somebody else, if I never wanted to be here the hero, if I never wanted to be cool myself, even though I am not a main character, let's say I don't have main character energy, right? I would say I have non-playable character that requires a specific side quest to activate energy, right? Like I have this sort of weird vibe where, I can be sort of, I'm sort of an ambivert. If I'm in a really good mood, I can be the life of the party. That's not, I can do that, but I am more inherently introverted, right? It takes a while for me to get going, especially as I've gotten sicker. But I can like adjust to the situation. Like, if people ever watch that interview with me in Japan, obviously, if you watch my videos here compared to that, that was the vibe because I know everybody wants to have fun. So I was extra silly, being socially calibrated, actually going outside, not being totally parasocial. I adjusted my mood for the circumstance, just like I was with those three girls and, they're eating up everything I said, right? They're in the palm of my hands, right? So, that's not that I'm cool. Of course, I fail with girls all the time. Oh my God, I fail so many times, right? But, still, I'm able to switch up my personality and can calibrate myself a little bit, right? But the non playable energy, I have this weird vibe of because of the way I look and because I'm kind of a loner, it kind of makes me seem extra cool because of how I look. Because they're like, why is this guy like? I've even had girls tell me that I walk like in a really sexy way. Like it's weird. They're like, whoa, you walk like you are so important, right? And I just walk because I'm slow. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm sick, but I fake it and I have a specific look that some girls are just like, they go goo goo gaga over it, right? But it's actually just non playable character energy, right? You got to activate the side quest to get me going. But whatever the case, I've said before, I have achieved a sort of fake level of cool. I have achieved this, and again, it's surreal to say. My pictures have been stolen so much on the internet at one time, and the site is, wasn't an amazing site, but I was the best looking guy rated on the entire site that the entire world votes on. That's pretty crazy, right? Can you imagine? Like, I should feel so lucky that apparently I was the best looking guy in the world on the website. It's a thought, right? Now, of course, at the time, it was only around when I first started walking again, that kind of thing. So I couldn't really take advantage of all that kind of stuff, all my pictures being stolen. But, now here I am on YouTube. But, the point is, I have achieved a fake level of coolness, right? Even if it's not real. And even if I don't always get to take advantage of it. And even if I still get insecure. But the point is, if I only had parasocial energy, I would never have been able to achieve even a fake level of cool of what I am right now, right? If I never wanted to better myself, right? Now, I'm not a main character, but I am a special side quest, non-playable character energy, I guess you could say, right? And I also think about this because, house stuff, and I think that's one of the craziest things. The guy was messaging me. He's like, man, you've outlived what the doctors have said before. Like, people are, and, at some point, I think about that stuff, and I always think the difference is, I think some people, if they would have had my life with health and everything like that, they would probably be like, oh, well, you've been dying, you know what it's like. So you're a go-getter. You're a go-getter. And I think sometimes maybe when people have that kind of energy, if you've been dying, maybe they had that life or death experience, but they're better now and they still have energy to do stuff, right? Like me, this radiation and everything, it fucked up my body, obviously. I'm still having problems. I still have these cluster headaches. Most painful human condition known to man. Was just in a recent bad period. Knock on wood. I was only sick 2 days last week, which is how pathetic is my life that I'm like, I was only sick 2 days last week. That was awesome, right? But hopefully things are calming down. But even if I can say that, oh my God, I have lived through these life or death things and I've had to face my own mortality and I don't even know how long I'm going to be alive, I'm unfortunately still sick. So I can't even it's hard to really motivate myself. And then, of course, I see the fakeness of human social interactions as well. I don't know, people again, I've had people tell me before, they're like, whoa, I have never seen girls react the way that they do to you in real life, right? I've never seen it. It's just crazy, right? Even when I go to other countries, people say I've never seen girls act like that. It's weird, right? Of course, some certain girls, they fucking hate me, right? I mean, I get turned down all the time. But some girls, maybe it's just that time of the month, one button was done. It drove them crazy, right? But again, I would have never achieved even this fake level of coolness unless I had that desire to be the best version of myself, right? And thinking about this, so I have this guy, and boy, this video's already probably 15 minutes, 14 minutes, 13 minutes, something like that. And he's trying to be a streamer, and he's met other streamers, and then I've met other streamers through him a little bit, and you can see even watching some of his streams, and I've told him before that unfortunately, even some of his streams, I've had to tell him, like, dude, I can't associate with you if you're going to act like this on stream. Because, not that I think he's a bad guy, but certainly I have seen him act in ways that are not congruent with how I have seen him act in real life. And I have told him that I cannot be associated with you when you act like this, right? And I know that's a very strange thing. Now, some people might say that, oh man, that's a alpha thing to do, that you could cut somebody off like that. And it's not like I cut them off per se, but I'm a very morally strong person like that. Like, bro, I can't hang out with you if you're gonna do that shit. I'm not cool with, holier than thou stuff. I'm not gonna, you're not, You're not being congruent. You're saying stuff that you don't act like in real life, and I'm not going to be a part of any of that because that reflects badly on me. Just like sometimes people say, Clayton, why don't you make a Discord after all this time? And I'm always like, I feel afraid that I might be associated with the Discord that I cannot, I barely even use Discord. Sometimes people are just telling me what this shit is on Discord, right? I got my own life, right? Let alone to take care of well, I guess it would be my own Discord, but I just barely use that shit anyway, right? So, I don't want to be responsible for all these people in case they start acting in ways that I do not agree with or might completely be evil and malicious and not right. And I don't want to be associated with that, right? So, but maybe he is people want clout for being a streamer or whatever. And whatever the case, though, I've seen how some of these other streamers act, and I see they're not always congruent people, and I see the interactions they have, but I also see the way that the chat acts, right? And I'm like, this is really parasocial behavior on some level, from in a really negative aspect. Like we can all see celebrities, and you might have, oh man, it might be nice to meet that person, or that person seems cool, whatever the fuck it might be, right? And maybe there's a level of empathy. You see someone and you're like, oh, I might want to imagine that person is cool. Certainly, I guess you could just even talk about video games. Look at how many parasocial behavior there is towards me from people on the internet. People literally tell fake stories about me that, oh, I know Clayton, this must have happened, blah, like insane fake stories that aren't even remotely real, right? Like, look at the stuff that people have lied about me, right? Another video where Clayton talks about how many people have lied about him throughout the years. Really weird shit, right? That's parasocial behavior, right? From a really negative point. Like maybe there's like a certain little bit of level of being parasocial that might even be called some sort of like a level of empathy. And then there's just like parasocial, like, I don't fucking know you. I don't know what you think you know about me. It's weird, right? That's why I've said so many times, I appreciate it. If anybody watches my videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want to appreciate it. Thanks, super like, super chat, whatever. I appreciate it. It's cool when you support the channel. But I would also tell you that, remember, I don't really consider anybody that watches my channel a friend. Because I trust any of you motherfuckers as far as I can throw you, right? People are weird, right? But this video, you could almost say it's a video saying that, like, although I appreciate you watching my videos, I hope the people that watch my videos or listen to them in the background, I hope you're trying to be your main character of your story, right? You need to be the main character of your story. If you're a character in another person's story, like, what are you doing with your life, right? How many times have I said, I don't even know, half the time, I don't even know the shit that people are saying about me. I hear a new line, like, I don't even know who this is. I've said before, who is that person? Oh, wait, that's the Vicky person? I've never even heard the Vicky's person's voice before. And that person has been lying about me for, well, God, I mean, I only found out about it during Dragon Ball, right? It could have been going on even longer than that, years and years. But the point is, I was not aware of that person, their voice, or anything like that. I'm not a character in their delusional story. They're a parasocial person in my story. Do you get what I'm getting at? Well, you don't want to be another character in another person's story. If you are a character in another person's story, I think you're wasting your life. It's no wonder that so many people have not done what I've done in video games when part of their life is dedicated to talking about me and telling a delusional fantasy story, right? Do you get what I'm getting at? Instead of trying to be a character in my story, you should be trying to be the character of your story, right? Do you get what I'm getting at? Like, I mean, I understand that, you can watch some people's streams or something like that. But even the little bit I've watched of my friends streaming, and I've seen some of the other streamers they do, and I'm like, this is just unhealthy. even watching it for a little bit, I feel very unhealthy. And I'm just like, I don't want to be a character in somebody else's story. If I waste my time trying to be a character in another person's story, how would I be where I am now? The most important person in my life is me. Okay? I'm trying to be the main character of my own story. I'm trying to be my own hero, right? Like, I mean, of course, some people are just flat out fucking crazy telling delusional fantasy stories about people. I can't even, like, imagine having so much free time that you make up stories about. I can't even fathom, like when I see that people, throughout the years so many times have made up so many weird lies about me and everything like that. And it's like, how do you have so much free time to make up lies about other people? It's really weird. Like, if I wasted my time making up stories about other people, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I don't think I would have had the will to work out, to teach myself to walk again, to live through life or death stuff, you know. And certainly, although my life is, definitely not good, and I definitely wish I could take advantage of stuff, and I definitely, man, I'm kicking myself. I can't believe I cannot. This was definitely one of those days. I wish I would have been recording myself. I don't know what it's been about this year. I've been getting stopped so. I don't think I've been stopped this much in many, many years. I don't know what it is this year, but girls have been going bonkers a lot of times, right? But I don't know what it is. Oh my god! Like I said, that story. I mean, that one story was on the story, I think, Instagram last week or whatever, dude. Those two girls came up to me. Like what a story. Like, I didn't tell this on YouTube, right? But I've showed so many fucking weird things on YouTube. Girls pull over, and their pickup line on me was, they said something along the lines of, you look like one of those guys that gets paid to jack off. Or I don't know, they said jack off or to grab his cock. Maybe they said something. They said something like that. And I was like, what? And one of the girls like, oh, one of the girls is like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And she's like, and the girl that was driving, she was like, she really thought you were hot. She's like, she would be the girl that was like paying for you to jack off or whatever. I was like, okay, are you like gonna say? She's like, oh my god, don't tell him. I mean, that's not something normal, right? Especially for a guy, but I get reactions like that, right? And I mean, they were messaging me, and I think she just when she messaged me. Would it be 2 days? Was it Friday or Saturday? What day is it? Sunday, right? You're like, oh my god, Clayton, how many girls message you? Not that many. Not that many, okay? Okay, it was yesterday, so it would have been Saturday. But again, you won't have these kind of experiences, or you probably won't have these kind of experiences, if the only thing in your life is you want to be a part of someone else's life. And especially if you're trying to be a part of someone else's life and you can only make up lies about that person, excuse me, you have so much free time in your life that you can make up a lie about another person. I can't even imagine having that much free time in life. Absolutely insane. Imagine this chair is going to break, and then I donate to the channel. I'm going to need a new chair. This chair is breaking. But I don't know if this video was motivational, but I was just thinking about it today because sometimes when you talk, you need to motivate yourself. And I feel really sad today, actually. I cannot believe, part of me, one, feels like I should have been recording this because today was crazy. I could not believe how many girls I got today. Absolutely incredible. Today was, and another reason I can probably appreciate a lot is, a lot of people, they actually go out every day. I don't go out all the time, right? Like, I mean, even going for a walk can gas me. So, I go out sometimes and I'm like, whoa, girls are spilling their spaghetti today. What is going on? need to see the titty or some shit like that. I don't know. Almost makes me think I kind of need a haircut, but sometimes girls, you know, they're like, "Oh my god, your hair." So now I'm kind of thinking I was gonna get a haircut tomorrow, but no, I don't know. I don't know, man. Hopefully this video is sort of motivating. I need to motivate myself. I can't believe. I always think, why did I get nervous to talk to two of the girls that actually looked really good, and I got nervous. Can you imagine? You're like, Clayton, what a beta, man. They're like, people that hate me are probably like, you are such a beta. Like, you're telling me 15 girls spilled their spaghetti in front of you and you couldn't go up to two girls yourself, you fucking piece of shit. And I'd be like, yes, yes, I got nervous. But you know, a part of that's too, you know, I'm not horny. I'm so fucking sick and tired all the time. You know, so that isn't helping. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can start maybe the testosterone again, but I gotta see if I was allergic to the carrier oil or what was going on. Obviously, I was very sick this summer. This was a not good period of time, so I don't know. Anyway, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.